Welcome everyone, I'm Suzanne Morgan. Thank you for joining me for the practice today. So I have a candle here, so it smells really nice and good. Good energy with the candle. I've got a cup of tea, I've got my dog. I'm ready to do some yoga. So today's practice, we're going to do some variations on bridge pose. So we're going to start by coming onto all fours and just wake up the spine a little bit. Spread the hands wide. Have the wrist right underneath the shoulders. And the knees about hip-width distance apart. And just very slowly, we're going to let the belly, just the belly, mostly from the belly here, let that belly drop down towards the earth and soften. And on your exhale, bring that belly and pull it in towards the back of the spine. So this is very subtle movements of just inhaling, letting the belly soften down, exhaling, pulling that belly back in. So this is a version of arch and tuck. It's a nice, easy way to warm up. And then after your next exhale, go ahead and take that a little bit deeper by inhaling, coming into an arch. So arching the spine more, and exhaling, belly button up to the sky, drop the head, look between the legs. So maybe 3 or 4 more rounds like that. By the way, for me, I like to call this combination arch and tuck instead of cat and cow. I don't know why people have called this cat and cow. I think it's confusing for students, so I prefer, my preference is to call these movements arch and tuck. You can call it anything you want as long as you practice. And one more round. And then after your next exhale, go ahead and bring the spine back to a neutral position. We're going to walk the hands just a little bit more forward. Spread those fingers super duper wide so that the pinkies go to the edge of the mat. Tuck the toes under. The feet are hip-width distance apart. We're going to lift it up to our down dog position. Downward facing dog. So nice strength and length throughout the arms. Let the shoulder blades run down the back. You can take this nice and easy. It doesn't have to be your most perfect down dog, but trying to get a little length and strength in the spine. Start warming up the body. The head floats between the arms. Deep breaths. And then go ahead and touch the knees down. We're going to come all the way down onto the belly. So just get down there any way that works for you. It doesn't have to be difficult. Actually, it's better if you just make it nice and easy to begin with. We're going to take the elbows right underneath the shoulders. Take those hands wide. Maybe take the feet a little bit further apart. You can press the tops of the feet into the mat. Have nice strength and length in the legs. Pull that belly in and come to your Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose is a pose that looks super easy and it's challenging, but it's nice. So you start to work at opening up that heart center. Make your poses happy. Come in and out of it if you need to. A couple more deep breaths here. And then go ahead and release the torso down. Take the shoulders, the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under and fold it back to your child's pose. And so perhaps having the knees in towards each other, the thighs lined up. Let the head sink. Start with a rounded back. Couple deep breaths here. And then from your child's pose, just go ahead and extend those arms out. Push into the palms of the hands. Get a little bit more length. And so you've got the palms pushing down and the hips going in the opposite direction. Couple breaths. And then on your next inhale, you can go ahead and come up. We're going to turn around and come back down. So bend the knees deeply. Variations on bridge pose. One of the things that I really like to do in bridge pose is to do a little vinyasa. This is just a short little vinyasa sequence. You can walk the hips in towards the heels some. A lot of this will depend on your knees and also the length and flexibility that you have in the thighs. My thighs are the tightest part of my body. So all back bends, and these are back bends, these bridge pose variations, require some flexibility in the thighs. So that will determine a lot of where you place the feet, how close you place the feet in. And so let there be a little bit of a natural arch in the lower back, like a teeny little mouse could slide underneath your lower back to start. That means the pelvis is in a neutral position, hands down by the sides. You're going to press into the four corners of the feet. The four corners of the feet are the big toe, the baby toe, the outsides of both heels. Hands start down on your next inhale. Inhale, press into the feet and lift the hips up. Arms float up overhead. And then as you exhale, go ahead and roll that back down. You can roll it down vertebrae by vertebrae if that's what works for your spine. That's nice. Or you can drop it down. People will have different preferences based on the shape of their body. So you can always make modifications based on the shape of your body. Nice and easy. This is like a body prayer, a body meditation. Letting the inhale start the movement. And the exhale, start that movement down. On your next inhale, you pick up that right foot. So as you lift up, arms come up over the head, that right foot stretches up to the sky, and then go ahead and roll it back down and place that foot down. Change sides. Left leg goes up. And switch back and forth. So you start firing up the core as that foot starts to press up towards the sky. And then maybe next time you go to that right foot, inhale, and as the arms come up over the head, you can pause here and then just hold. So you're holding the pose but not holding the breath. So it's firing up that thigh, it's firing up the core. And then left side. And then go ahead and roll that back down and come back down. So one variation that can be a little bit more advanced, particularly if you have some knee stuff going on or if you have thigh issues, then you want to be careful with this, is take the hands, we're going to place the hands right into the ankles. You may need to adjust here a little bit so that you still have that little bit of a baby arch in the lower back and the back of the neck isn't compressing down. On your next inhale, go ahead and push into the feet, start to lift up. The hands can come down by the sides, or you can even draw those hands under and tuck the shoulders under. Let that heart open. Release that back down when you're ready. If you find that that's difficult for the knees and it pinches the knees, try walking the feet away from the face. And this time start with the hands down by the sides, press into the four corners of the feet, inhale. Same thing. So the pelvis comes up in a relatively neutral position. So you're not squeezing the butt so much. To find the pose, you might need to do that, and then go ahead and relax the butt. But for more advanced yogis, you can come into this without even squeezing and pressing the butt together. And breathe. And then go ahead and roll it back down. And then here's one of the variations that I like the most. This is really great because what I find is that with bridge pose, people often compress the back of the neck, so they're pressing the back of the neck down, and they get a tightness in the neck. Even the best of us, that can happen with just the natural shape of the pose and the natural shape of our own bodies. So we work with blocks. This can be really lovely to take any stress out of the neck. So you place your blocks onto the ground, and so I've got my blocks at the high side. Walk my butt in, take my feet, press my feet into the blocks. Go ahead and roll it down. And then, using the blocks, go ahead and come up. Now I find this is a much nicer. This is much nicer for me on my neck. You still get all this openness and you get the stretch in the thighs. But you don't get the compression in the neck. Then if you want to curl the shoulders under, roll the shoulders back and down, press the hands into the mat, and open up a little bit more, you can go ahead and do that. A couple deep breaths. And then go ahead and start to come out of that, release the arms, lower the hips, and nice deep inhale to come up. So to do a little counterbalance for those back bends, let's take the soles of the feet together. So the feet are going to be a little bit away from the body into a diamond pose. So not in really close. And inhale, lengthen, exhale. Curl that belly and roll the back. So you're opening the back here. The hands can be anywhere. They can be on the sides, or you can drop it down deeper. But you try to get a rounded back to really open up and release any tension. You can stay there for about 5 or 10 breaths. That's nice. And when you're ready, go ahead and come up. The benefits of bridge pose are many. It's great for the digestive system. It's great if you have insomnia, if you have anxiety. Bridge pose does a lot of things to calm the mind, but it opens up the heart. So you're opening up the heart, allowing yourself to feel more compassion for yourself, more compassion for other people. It's great for the shoulders and neck if done properly, and of course to stretch the thighs. So many benefits to bridge pose. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.